Hello students, today I am going to start the new chapter of class 9th physics, that is forces and laws of motion. Next we will discuss about laws of motion. Before starting laws of motion, let us see the Galileo's experiment. So what is Galileo's experiment actually? Initially it was assumed that the natural state of the object is a state of rest, right? That means if object is at rest, that means if object is at rest, that means the object is in its natural state, and each and every object wants to be in its natural state, right? But what Galileo's proved, Galileo's opposes this statement, and he said that the natural state of an object may be anything, and to prove that statement he conducted many experiments. Let us see those experiments, right? He has taken one inclined plane which was smooth, and he placed one object of suppose certain ball of mass m on this particular plane at the top of the plane, right? And he just released this ball. So this ball will move in this direction only. Why? Because of the weight component of this object, right? Weight component is acting in this direction, because I have told that the cause of motion may be weight of the object, right? So this weight component will pull this object in this direction only, right? So object starts its motion, and when object is moving down the plane, its speed will be continuously increasing, right? So when the object will reach here, this will have certain speed, and further if this is the plane surface, this object will continue with the same speed. This object will continue its motion with the same speed. Why it continues its motion with same speed? What he said, that there is no resultant force acting on this object. That's why this object will continue its state, right? Now he did another thing. Suppose he provided certain speed to this ball, right, from down the plane, and when the object starts moving upward the plane, its speed will be slowing down. Why? Because one weight component of this force is opposing the motion, so speed will be reducing, right? So what he said, that if force is acting, speed may reduce. If force is acting, speed may increase. But if no force is acting, there will be no change in speed. So what he concluded, that natural state of an object may be anything. That may be state of rest or may be state of motion. Because if we leave an object on any plane, a smooth plane with certain speed, suppose 10 meter per second. So that will continue with 10 meter per second until unless any external force is applied, right? But practically when we see that this speed will be continuously reducing. Why? Because there is friction force acting on this plane. So what he did, he made the smooth surface, he just reduces the friction, right? So object was continuously moving, right? So he concluded that the object will continue its state until unless any external force will be applied on the object, and that's the basis of the first law of motion, right? So what is first law of motion? Let us see. This first law of motion is also called as law of inertia. Law of inertia. I will explain how this is the law of inertia. So what is the statement of first law? The statement of first law is a body will continue its state of rest or state of uniform straight line motion until and unless any external force is applied on the object, right? So this is the statement of first law, correct? Now here we talk about the state of an object. State of an object. So what may be the state of an object? Suppose one object I am considering here having certain mass m. This object is at rest. So this is the rest state of the object, right? If another object which is continuously moving with 10 meters per second, right? There is no acceleration acting on the object. So this will continue its motion with 10 meters per second, right? So this is the state of motion, right? This is the state of motion. So the state of these objects will get changed if we will be applying certain external force on the object, right? Otherwise there will be no change of its state. This will remain at rest. This will continue its motion with constant speed, right? Now how it is called as law of inertia? Firstly we try to understand the word inertia. So inertia is something, you can say this is habit, right? This is something habit, because each and every person, each and every object will have certain habit, right? So this object will have habit of being at rest, right? And this object have habit of being in motion, right? So because these objects have inertia, that is habit, right? That's why they are continuing its state, right? Suppose if any particular person have habit of playing, so he will take interest in playing, right? If you have the habit of not reading, you will never study. But there will be break of inertia, there will be break of your habit when any external force will be applied on you, right? Suppose this object has habit of being at rest and I am applying one push force on the object. So this will start its motion. Why? Because I am breaking its inertia. What I am doing? I am breaking the inertia of the object, right? So each and every object is at inertia, right? At inertia, if external force will be applied, that inertia breaks and there will be change of its state, right? So each and every object present in the universe will have certain inertia, right? And if we talk about in terms of physics, this inertia is the quantity which is measured, right, and termed as mass, right? So the measurement of inertia of an object is called as mass. So how mass is defined? Mass is the measurement of inertia. Right? Means an object having more inertia will have more mass, right? So inertia is non-measurable quantity, that just the state, its habit, but to measure the inertia we have introduced the term mass. That's the physical quantity, right? on which we can do the calculations, right? So hopefully this inertia and mass will be clear. Correct. Now, how many types of inertia of an object may be there? Inertia of rest, right? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, another inertia. Firstly, we will try to understand. Suppose there is a wheel of a bicycle that is rotating and the bicycle is on stand mode, right? So if wheel is rotating and no external force is or no external any resistance is applying on that particular wheel, so that wheel will continue its motion, and there the motion is occurring on the circular path, right? So its direction is continuously changing, correct? So there is the inertia of direction, right? There is the inertia of direction, correct? So if we want to change the inertia of direction, we must be applying certain force, right? If that wheel is rotating and we are applying the force by our hand, then only that wheel will stop, right? Or any resisting force will act, then only that inertia of direction will get changed. So these are three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction, right?